Welcome back to the channel, guys. Your home of hopium free crypto and economic market cycles info. Looking at the Wyckoff analysis, we were on track with some of the accumulation that you can see here from some of the wording here. We're looking at our selling climax, market trending sideways, some automatic reactions, some secondary tests. We got more secondary tests and the market's just basically fallen out of the trading range. But as you can see here, phase A, phase B, it's stuff we've been tracking for weeks now, weeks and weeks and weeks. And we're looking at it further back here in November and December as it started to break down through its trading range. So the phase we want to see, and this is the momentum play to get onto those trades, is this phase, phase D, as the market breaks outside of the trading range. And as you can see, Bitcoin didn't do that. So therefore, this is a redistribution. This is a distribution because it's basically the market selling off what it doesn't want. It falls into another trading range and then sells off the next lot of assets, crypto, whatever it might be, and then it falls into another trading range, which is apparently what we're doing now. We haven't bounced out of this range yet, so we're still down in these $30,000 area. So for a momentum trade, I want to be breaking out. We didn't get that, therefore I'm not buying other cryptocurrencies. But for my hodl, I like the look of Bitcoin and ETH. We're getting a bit more volume come in. We're getting some support levels come in. Doesn't mean it's going to be the final low because I'm not trying to buy the low. You know, it's our other rule that we look at. We don't need to buy the exact low or sell the exact top. As I said, I just want to buy a chunk through the middle. And I keep repeating it because no matter how long you go in this game, you always feel like you want to get that exact low and you want to get that exact top so you can have clout and just, you know, tell people you did it. But end of the day, your bank account doesn't know where the dollars came from. It just knows that the dollars are increasing or decreasing. You know, your trading account, your crypto account, your bank account, whatever it is. It doesn't know that you got those dollars from the bottom and you got the dollars from the top. Like you put the dollars in at the bottom and you sold at the top. It just knows that it's increasing or decreasing. So as soon as we can get over that ego, then we can continue to move on. So Ethereum is something that I've been buying on the dips. I like it long term. I think it has potential, etc. I think this is a longer term accumulation range. And of course, if I'm wrong, then we break down from these lows, come back to this testing, this range here of $700 to $1,000, and the show's over for a very long time. But at the moment, it's fallen back to 2,400 and it's underneath a major 50% level. Does that mean it's over? Not at this stage. And I know I use that for other cryptos. When it breaks the 50%, it's over. Just like I said with Solana. So for Ethereum, it did break down past this 50% last time and it came back to around 61.8%. There's obviously more support back here at around $1,700 and then further back at the old previous all-time high at around 1,400. So you can see these lows came in at 13-ish and we move the chart back. There's your top there. So you do have a little more support back here compared to altcoins. All right, so very, very different baskets. Now, I talk a lot about altcoins going 90%. This was early in 2021 where I'm saying altcoins will dump. Eventually they will all get absolutely wrecked because we're basically just trading hopes and dreams. You guys are getting that by now. It's just on the back of the BS marketing that any of these crypto companies come up with. Yeah, they got an extra this and extra that built onto the back of XYZ. You know, at the end of the day, we're just basically being thrown a whole lot of crap that we want to hear to make us feel better about where we put our money to see if we can get more money from that hope and a dream. All right, if you're not getting that yet, do some more research. Okay, so I'm saying the question is for 2022, could this altcoin, whatever it is, could it drop 90%? You know, last year we were saying, can it go 100x? This year, can it drop 90%? So if you want to do that on any of your cryptocurrency portfolio, because a lot of people said last video, this could all drop. What's the point of selling? It's already dropped far enough. It's gone down 50%. You just wait. You're basically just selling a loser and you're gonna regret it later. Sure, that can definitely happen because no one has a crystal ball. And when you're in it long enough, you know that you're not going to get everything 100% right. But as I said, with Sol, I sold as it broke down. Okay, so the point here is use this on any of your cryptocurrencies. Okay, so here is the Chili's BTC top. Let's look at Chili's USD. All right, so 95 cents is the Chili's top. Could it go down 90%? All right, here's your support and resistance line. look, we've just broken through this support at around 24 cents. You can see so many lows here. If I take it off log, you'll really see the difference. All right, so we need it back on log to do what we're doing now. Look, there's a tiny bit of support at these levels, tiny bit here. There's another top. If I just line it up, you can see over here at about 2.8 cents, and then go further, about 1.9, call it 2 cents, come back a little bit lower. Then you got a few more highs just underneath these peaks at about 1.5 cents. Okay, so then all you got to do, go and look for those support and resistance levels, go to the top. Where are we? 95 cents. Great. Where are we currently down to? We're down at about 80%. All right, so Chiliz is down a lot more than a lot of the market. This is the really important one as well, to find cryptos which will move before the other cryptos. And I'll do a separate video on that as well. So make sure you've liked and subscribed, bell notification icon so you get updated with that. So this is how we're finding them later as we're looking for the market to move. Quick shout out to the sponsor, SwiftX. Go and check it out. Links in the top of the description, and also Bybit if you want to know, KYC exchange if you want to be trading your cryptos through this market. Okay, so 82% down. Where could it go to? More than 90%. That's what I'm thinking. Here are the tops. Look at these other tops here. All right, 93%. Next top, 97%. Next top, 98%. And probably this level here, 98.5%. Okay, so that's the extreme. It's the extreme. I'm not saying it's going to get there. Just looking at extremes at this point, because what do we do on the other side with the hopes and the dreams? We look at the extremes to the upside. So here are the extremes to the downside. This is not going to happen in a straight line. You're going to question yourself if this started to break down and then bounce from that point and say, oh, I was stupid, I should not have listened to that. And then as it comes down again, you'll say, oh, I'm so glad I did listen to that, and test the next level. And then you say, oh, I'm so stupid, I should not have listened to that, as it bounces up and, you know, test this low here. And it comes back down. Oh, thank God I listened to it. That's going to be the emotions the whole way across. And now maybe it finds support much higher than any of these levels. And it starts to make those higher lows, break higher, get into that phase D like we're looking at with Wyckoff, and move on. So that's, Chiliz is the example here. Now, the other point to note is, when did that cryptocurrency that you're looking to buy the dip on, when did it peak? If it peaked later in the year, say that November, maybe it was in that September peak, like an ADA. November had a few peaks as well because Bitcoin and Ethereum were high. Then those cryptos, probably, it's not 100%, but I use it as a rule of thumb. Those cryptos are probably going to take longer throughout 2022 to get back into a strong position, reaccumulate, and then get into some new highs throughout 2023. However, if we have some other cryptos like YFI, like DeFi, that peaked in mid 2020. Now this is on the Bitcoin chart. So if we get the USD, it peaked in mid 2021. You can see here in May, and then it never came back to another high. Maybe this is all accumulation. Maybe, you know, if it's not, then definitely we're going to see this thing get absolutely wrecked, break these lows, and it's going to give us a signal to get out of the position here. We'll wait and see for that. But basically the point that I'm making here is, if it peaked early in 2020, maybe early 2021, and it didn't peak throughout the year, it could be going through an accumulation before it takes off again. That's something to keep in mind. Now, if it was something that peaked late, let's have a look at Axie. Axie might be a good one here. USD, it's at $50 now. You can see the charts. This is the sort of chart that you'd be looking at. This peaked in November. So it's going to take some time for this to drop to its low, form a base, go sideways, accumulate, and then start to move again. So I know a lot of people are trying to buy the dip on these cryptos which had peaked later in the year. As my rule of thumb, things are never 100%. Okay, so take that into account. But these things are going to take longer to accumulate. It's just natural supply and demand. So if you find yourself thinking, all right, these cryptos are great and I need to start buying the dip because they were great, you know, just recently, probably look to something else that's already been in a big, long accumulation and is potentially starting to break out. At least that's the way I'm reviewing the markets, because I still see these as having a lot further to fall. And if it doesn't have further to fall because it's down 70% already, maybe it gets to these highs back at 93% down, then they're going to have a lot longer time at those lower prices. Maybe it falls just to 80%, but it's still going to have a lot longer time to reaccumulate. And if it doesn't and it jumps back up, maybe you're just going to use it as a trade, but not a long-term hold, because these things can spike but not get back to those new all-time highs and do those 100x's. So it's going to come down to your portfolio. Are you just looking for a trade? Maybe you're going from 50 to $100, getting your 100% in this downtrend, bear market, and that's all you want from it. That's a different trade compared to waiting for the accumulation, the higher lows, and the breakout to new all-time highs and goes to, to $1 million. All right, different strategies for your portfolio. And because that's the case, that's how I'm playing it in my HODL portfolio. Buying the ETH, maybe I'll get a little bit of Bitcoin, but I think Ethereum has a bigger leg to move, which is why I'm loading up more on ETH. And you guys see that in my superannuation fund portfolio, which I'll post on Instagram and Twitter. So make sure you're following those links down below and liking, subscribing, checking out the links down below for SwiftX and Bybit. Thanks very much for your time on the video. I'll see you at the next one. Till then, have more fun to get more done.